Hi everyone. I hope this finds you all healthy and happy. And I've come on this evening because I've made a little bit of progress with my projects, and I wanted to share them with you. Some of you may remember that I had this little notebook that I found in the Dollar Tree that had the plastic back cover, and then the front cover was the stencil, and I just cut the front cover off, and it left this black page. Anyway, and some of you also may remember that I received a set of Neocolor 1 wax crayons from a coworker, and I didn't quite know how to use them, and I was asking about that, and I got responses from lovely Lillian, who is Crafty Grandma 54, I believe, on YouTube, and I will put a link to her channel in the description box below. And she was kind enough to send me a bunch of links with tutorials about how to use Neocolor 1 because they are different than Neocolor 2. And also Nina Ribena was kind enough to tell me that you can use the Neocolor 1 as a resist if you're doing a watercolor. So that's what I did for the background of this little cover for my book. This is a piece of watercolor paper that's on here, and then the background I did with the Neocolor 1, the wax crayons, or the outlines of the flowers I did with that, and then filled it in with watercolors. And I was really quite pleased with how it turned out. I don't know if you can actually see the background very well, and so thank you, Nina, for the tip as well, and I will put a link to Nina's channel in the description box below, although I'm sure so many of you already know who Nina is, but I will still put her link in the description box below. There's a little paper flower that I put up here, and that flower's from Ginny, who is Brave Blue Raven on YouTube, and I will include her link. And then there's two little postage stamps here, faux postage stamps that I thought just went so pretty with this, and I will try to remember who gave those to me for my challenge, and I will also put their link in the description box below. And then there's a little acetate heart over here. But I was quite pleased with the cover of it. I've got a little bit of lace on the top and the bottom, and it's just my little book of art. Well, obviously you can see. So I was really tickled with how that turned out, and I put I put a couple of pages together with the black page, and then on the inside cover I just used one of my jelly prints for the inside of the front cover. So yeah, I've made a little bit of progress, and I'm really tickled with how it's turning out so far. I don't know how long it'll hold up, but you know, so far so good. And then I put a little sketches of my birds in there, and I added another birdie to the other two. I might as well have a trio of birds, right? And so I sealed those with a little bit of hairspray because it's just pencil, and so I added those. And then in the back of the book, or toward the back of the book, and I've been gluing these pages together because they're very, very thin, so I've been putting the pages together. But in the back of the book, I decided I would, if I can get there, sorry, I would put some pages together and add a couple of these little, I got some little glassine and wax paper envelopes with my challenge. Some folks were kind enough to send me things in these, and so I decided I would attach these to the back of my little book as well, in case there was something that I wanted to add in here to put in you know, that might need to go in with a pocket. And these were stitched along the sides. I hope you can see them in there. It's kind of hard to see white on white, but and these had little stickers on them, and I don't remember who sent those to me. Maybe it was Jur, I'm not sure, but anyhow, I just folded the flap down on the inside, and then you know, I'm going to use that for a pocket. And I can show you that on the next page what I mean, because here's another one that was sent to me, and I hope they're sticking down okay. I think they are. But anyway, this was sent to me, and this already has a tag in it that I made. I made a while ago. It's a little kitty cat tag. I found this image online, and there's a little paper doily under there, and I did a background. I'm not sure with what. I can't remember anymore. Looks like there's some stamping on there, some other papers. And the kitty cat, I kind of blinged up a little bit with some gel pens, some glitter gel pens. I don't know if you can see if it's picking up, but I think it is somewhat. But anyway, I did that tag a while back, and so I think it just fits perfectly down in here, and I'm going to go ahead and keep that in there in my little book of art. And then this one on the back page, someone sent me this pretty bag as well, and I also have a tag in that, down in that one that I made. And that one just says "Sing Like Never Before," and it's book pages in the background, it looks like, or book text, and some texture paste, and some three-dimensional stickers or two-dimensional stickers, and "Sing Like Never Before." So that one I made as well, and that one just goes in that little pocket. So oh, I haven't done anything with the back cover yet. And here's this crazy tree I made. I was working with some oil pastels, I believe, or some soft pastels. I can't remember which now. And was trying to, you know, see what I could make with them and what they would do and so forth. So I did this tree. I don't know if I'll put it in here or not, but I suppose I will. I don't know. Maybe it'll help show me my progress as I go along. And hopefully I do progress and don't regress. So, okay, so that's that little book, and I've gotten that far with it so far, so I'm kind of happy with how that turned out. And then I was working on the oh, good night. The composition notebook, and this crazy composition notebook, it was funny. If you can see some of these papers sticking out here farther than the cover, it's because when I went to start working with this, these front few pages just started falling out. And so I had to use some of my real sticky freezer tape and actually bind the book back together before I could even work on my composition notebook. But I got it. I got some pages stuck together here on purpose, of course, and I incorporated that freezer tape into there, and so that worked out okay. The other thing about the cover of this composition notebooks, as you know, have kind of a glossy finish on them, and I was worried about whether it would take paint and that type of thing very well, so I decided I would sand it a little bit. So I did, and when I sanded it, all that glossy finish just flaked off in little tiny, you know, thinner than tissue paper, just little gossamer pieces of that clear plasticky stuff all over the place. And so I will never sand a composition notebook down again. I just won't ever do that. I don't know whether it would have stuck, you know, very well if I hadn't. but I won't do it again. Anyway, and so then I gessoed over top of it, and then I used some of my shimmer paints, and I don't know if you can see it. Maybe it'll pick it up. But if you can see right there, the nubbiness of it, the bumps, that's that real fine stuff that just wouldn't come off, and it ended up kind of making a really cool texture on this. And then the center of it is some of that plasticky paper that we were all making a while back with the glue and turning it into plasticky paper. I didn't have very good luck with that at all, but I did end up with a couple pieces of it, so I used that in the center and some napkin, and then some of my sticky washi tape down the binding. And I really like how the cover turned out. It feels really cool. So anyway, maybe it was a happy accident with the little flaking of the composition notebook paper. But and then on the inside, when I was doing my watercolor, I was using just a regular tissue, to dab the paint up and dab the excess water and paint and so forth. And so that's what the tissue looked like. And I added a couple spritzes of my shimmer sprays to it, and a little bit of my shimmer paints, and stuck that to the inside cover. And I really like how that turned out as well. And what I'm going to do is I have some interesting things cut out of a magazine over here, and I started off with this cool picture of this tree down here in the corner. And what I'm going to do is just go ahead and glue some of these cool images that I have chosen here onto the inside cover, the page here, and I will come back and show you the finished product when it's done. Like I said, I started off with this really cool tree here, and you don't want to see me just sit here and take pieces and glue them. So what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and finish up and come back and talk to you about it when I'm done. But I've gotten somewhere, so I'm really happy that I've gotten somewhere. So I'll come back in a bit when it's done and show you. Okay, I'm back and I'm all done with gluing down some of my pictures from magazines and things that I cut out, and this is how the page turned out, and I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's, I wanted some of the background to still show through, so it's not like a layered up collage piece like I guess maybe the way they're supposed to be, or like some that I've seen. But I'm happy with it. It's got some things on there that I love, butterflies and flowers and gardening and that type of thing, and so yeah, I like it a lot, and some of my background still shows through, so it's pretty much exactly what I wanted, and I guess that's kind of the important thing. So I will go on to just use this as a glue book. Anything goes in there, whatever I want to put in it, and so we will see how I progress. It's getting dry. It's almost dry, and it's not at all smooth. With the background the way it was, of course it wouldn't be smooth because of all the bumps and lumps and everything that was in the background already. But I kind of like it like that. So we will continue on from here, and thanks for hanging with me, and we'll see how I progress, and until I visit with you next time, God bless you. Bye-bye.